This is Seattle Sports Sunday Night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Seattle Sports Sunday Night with me, Vince O'Neill, on 1090 The Fan. On tonight's show, we're going to preview the Hawks matchup with the St. Louis Rams tomorrow night on Monday Night Football and celebrate the Huskies' 41-17 trouncing of Cal. How about that? Maybe they were inspired by the memory of the late, great Coach Don James. And we'll preview the Cougs' rare Halloween game coming up this Thursday against Arizona. That will be spooky. And of course, though it is unheard of around these parts, this is World Series time. In the parallel universe where some Major League Baseball teams actually play in October. You've heard about it. The Cards went ahead 2-1 last night. Game 4 is underway in beautiful St. Louis, and at the moment, we've got it all knotted up. Red Sox won, Cardinals won. We'll try to keep you updated on that as we move along here. And as if that weren't enough, the Sounders are playing their last game of the regular season against the LA Galaxy at the Clink. The score right now is 0-0 or 0-0. That score indicates that either the game has not started yet or that it's over. We're not sure. We're also going to talk about football legend. In fact, we're going to talk with football legend Alan the Beef Anderson about a new project he's working on. And the Beef is going to join me right here on the 1090 The Fan studios along beautiful Lake Union. But first, an update on the news from 1090 The Fan's Brian Lewis.
This is a 1090 News Update with Brian Lewis.
Thank you, Vince. I'm 1090 The Fan's Brian Lewis here with an update on the news brought to you by Sound Clear Laser Ear Clinic. Let them fix your hearing and you won't say, what? You won't say, what? Anymore. In the news, federal agencies continue the work of returning the government to full operation following their brilliant 2-week shutdown. Mount Rainier National Park, it's reopened. Climbers can once again make their way up to the tippity top of the mountain there, although some people prefer to simply drive up on the paved road that's in the back, goes right to the top. Not a lot of people know about it. I do. I'm Brian Lewis. So-called non-essentials employees have also returned to work, and a little joke I like to tell around the station is that the non-essentials employees includes my brother Carl. At JBLM, civilian staffers are back on duty just in time for the elevated alert status, and that was announced today by your Department of Homeland Security. They're always on the job. Now, in addition to DHS's red, orange, yellow, blue, and green color-coded threats, the department has recently, it's so bad, have added salmon, plum, and a very menacing, terrifying shade of mauve. If I may say mauve. Election day is just over a week away. Well, looks like the Seattle mayor's race coming down to the wire. A King 5 poll shows challenger State Senator Ed Murray maintaining lead over incumbent Mayor Mike McGinn, but McGinn has gained several points over the past few weeks to sensational candidates. And it was 75 years ago this weekend that Orson Welles' infamous radio broadcast of War of the Worlds set off a nationwide panic, you'll recall, causing some people to run wild in the streets. And right here in the Northwest, in the tiny town of Concrete in Skagit County, people ran wild in the streets, although I've been informed by Vince O'Neill that they don't have streets in Concrete, only one, a street. They ran wild in the street. Well, news updates on 1090 The Fan brought to you by Sound Clear Laser Ear Clinic. It'll only take seconds to get back the hearing you lost years ago. Sound Clear Laser Ear Clinic. You know, you will hear a pin drop. We'll have weather right after this look at 1090 The Fan. Traffic here is Sue Smithers.
1090 Traffic with Sue Smithers.
Hi, Brian. Well, it's quiet tonight around the Puget Sound. I don't see any problems on my traffic cams. Ferry boats are running on time. There's no wait at the Canadian border. All major roadways are trouble-free. 520 will cost you $3.35 to cross, or just $1.68 if you only go halfway. I'm Sue Smithers with 1090 The Fan, brought to you by Cascade Men's Clinic, helping guys everywhere climb higher and higher.
Yes, thank you, Sue. And we'll check back in with Sue at the bottom of the hour as soon as something happens out there on the highway you need to know about. Weather.
They're waiting word from the White House.
On
President
1090
Barack
The
Obama
Fan.
will be addressing the country now.
All right, then. The 1090, the fan forecast, calls for widespread fog developing around much of the area later tonight. In the meantime, it'll be cloudy with a low temperature down near 45 and a north wind around 6 miles an hour. Now for Monday, fog be around until morning. The marine layer, that'll burn off. Should be mostly sunny by midday, if you can believe that, with a high of 58. At least that's what Jeff Renner tells me. Weather on 1090 The Fan, brought to you by Equity Partners, your partners in equity and the number one choice in the Pacific Northwest. Very creative but reasonably fair home refinancing. You know, I'm Brian Lewis here for 1090 The Fan News, and now it's back to Vince O'Neill and Seattle Sports Sunday Night.
This is a 1090 News Update with Brian Lewis.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Equity
This is
Partners.
Seattle Sports Sunday Night with
Right.
Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
All right, that's my producer, Adam, doing a crack job over there. Lucky to have him with us. By the way, those people at Equity Partners are terrific. I used them for my refi last year, and I can't believe that they could get me a loan. I mean, if they can do it for me, they certainly can do miracles for you. I'm Vince O'Neill, and of course, this is Seattle Sports Sunday Night on what's turning out to be a foggy evening here in the Great Pacific Northwest, and not as foggy as it has been the last several nights, but visibility is not good out there because there is fog in some areas, but then the visibility also may be impacted because it's dark out there. That makes it hard to see. Before I forget, you can call us anytime during the show. Just dial 206-436-1090 in Seattle or anywhere in the sound of my voice, which would be in this room primarily, 888-985-1090. We are here in the studio. We're live and local. And who does live radio anymore? I mean, since we are live, it just makes sense that my producer, Adam, is standing by to take your call. And you are ready for that, aren't you, Adam?
Right. What?
You're standing by to take people's calls, right?
Oh, well, I'm going to be sitting mostly.
Okay, it's just an expression. Okay. We can count on him, I'm sure. We got a lot of ground to cover tonight. Those Huskies finally won one, and they won big. The Cougs did not lose either because they didn't play. That's the principal reason. The new NBA season, sorry to rub salt in the wounds, the once and future Sonics fans, but we're going to talk about that. And the big Monday night football game tomorrow night, 6-1 Seahawks facing off against the St. Louis Rams. It's going to be on national TV. And do we have another update on Game 4 of the World Series? Looks like it's still knotted up. Same score, 1-1. What inning are we in there? That is the end of the fifth. Okay. And the Red Sox really want to win this game because then they will be tied 2-2. It's a 7-game series. It can't go on forever. All right. We all remember former Husky coach Don James. They had a very nice memorial for the Dogfather over at Heck Ed this afternoon. If you were there, call us later and tell us what it was like. Now, usually on this show, it's just me ranting and raving over this stuff, but not tonight. No, not tonight, because I have a very special guest. Adam was whispering in my ear. Before we get to our guest, I guess Brian Lewis is back with some breaking news. Okay, Brian, go.
This is a 1090 News Update with Brian Lewis.
Oh, that's right, Vince. Thank you very much. This is Brian Lewis with the news. Apparently some kind of meteor sighting tonight. That's right, a meteor. The Associated Press is reporting that just before 7, the skies above western Washington were lit up, a brilliant streak of light in the sky. Pilots saw a flash. Local 911 switchboards reported the spike in phone calls. No word on what it was, but it was likely I believe, as Brian Lewis with the news, a meteor or possibly a piece of space junk.
What, no Martians?
Well, Vince, you kid now, but remember, this is sports radio, and you're Vince O'Neill. You're not Art Bell, the Art, the crackpot science fiction stuff over on Cairo.
Yeah, from the land of Nye.
Yes.
Okay, you done?
Say?
Yeah, I guess he is. We don't want to lose any listeners, but thanks for that update, Brian. Now, how weird is it that we're a local AM station and we actually have a live news guy on our show on a Sunday? I'm still amazed that we can do that. And you talk about crackpot science fiction, there you had some. But anyway, as I was saying before, joining me here tonight, you just heard mention of a possible meteor. Well, there's nobody meatier than a guy named The Beef. And he's joining me in the studio. He was a standout at Lake Washington High School where he led the Kangaroos to the state football championship. That is the first time a team named after a marsupial ever won the state championship, and he was on it. At the UW, he was a member of the Log Jam offensive line, and he played about a dozen seasons with the Seahawks before he blew out his left knee in an unfortunate accident, non-sports related, at the International House of Pancakes. If you don't know who I'm talking about, well, you have to be a Martian yourself, because here he is, folks, Alan the Beef Anderson here on Seattle Sports Sunday Night on 1090, The Fan. How you doing, Alan?
I'm good, Vince, but please call me the Beef.
Okay, the Beef.
Well, you can actually just say beef,
Okay. What about meat? Would that work?
Actually, no. It's got to be beef. There's another guy called Pork.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I don't want there to be any confusion.
Okay, fair enough then. It is beef, and it's nice to have you here.
Well, thank you. Can I eat in the studio, by the way?
Yeah, you can eat if you want to.
Thank you, bro. I'm starving.
You're a pretty big guy, aren't you?
I am a big guy.
How do you you're trying to keep the weight off in any way?
Yeah, I can't put it away like I used to. The doctors say I got to lay off, so my wife's got these, the lean cuisines.
Yes.
She's buying those for me. Now, I'm eating 6 or 7 of them in a sitting. It's crazy.
Yeah, those are great. The weight will just fall off.
Anyways, I'm not here to talk about me and my eating. I'm here to talk about the kids. And the kids who benefit from the Alan the Beef Anderson Foundation.
Now, that's right. It says here that you're hosting an event on Wednesday to raise money for the Beef Foundation. Now, what is the Beef Foundation?
Yeah. I've been blessed with, a lot of success in my career.
Yeah.
And now it's time for me to help the kids.
Right.
I never had any of my own. I don't do well around kids, but that's why Mrs. the Beef and I started the Alan the Beef Anderson Foundation to help the kids.
That's great, Alan. Now, I want to hear more about it, but first, what do you think's going to happen tomorrow in St. Louis at Edward Jones Dome when the Hawks take the field?
Yeah, I think Coach Carroll and Russell Wilson, I think they're a lot like me in that they want to help the kids,
Yeah. Okay. Now, you and I both know that the Rams have been pretty tough so far this season. Their record maybe is not indicative of how good they are. They're 3-4, but that didn't really tell the whole story. Even Brett Favre said no to them.
Well, life can be pretty tough for all of us, Vince. Especially for the kids. They're so small.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. And the Rams are coming off a 30-15 loss at the hands of the Carolina Panthers. Okay, Alan the Beef Anderson is my guest here on Seattle Sports Sunday Night. We're going to get right back to our fascinating conversation in minutes. But first, a commercial word here for Sunset Hair Relocation Services. Now, as a man gets older, he gains experience and wisdom, and maybe he gains a few extra pounds, too. And for some of us, other things start to happen. We lose hair in places we want to keep it, and we gain hair in places we'd rather not have it. Do you know what I'm talking about, guys?
Yeah, I sure do.
Do you, Beef?
Yeah. You see, what happened, if I might, in my particular case, is that I lose hair in the places that I want to keep it, and I've been gaining hair in places like this right here that I'd rather not have it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you're like the beef, and to be honest, like me, here's where Sunset Hair Relocation Services comes in for both of you, for all of us, really. The technicians at Sunset Lake take the hair you don't want and put it where the hair you did want used to be. It's called a surgical relocation process. You don't miss any work, and nobody is even going to know. It is virtually pain-free, and it'll take years off your looks, literally years. Sunset Hair Relocation Services, it's all about the hair, and it's also about the wear. Give them a call today and check out the before and after photos on their website.
It'd be great.
Now, what would that be, Beef?
If there was a way to take the hair I don't want. Hang on, let me pull up my shirt. See right over here?
Yeah, I don't need to see it.
If I could take that hair and put it where the hair I did want used to be.
You know what? We're going to be back to talk some more with the Beef, including whether he thinks the years of all the punishing hits he took on the football field might have had an effect on him.
This is Seattle Sports Sunday Night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
Okay, Adam is saying that we've got some traffic problems, so here's an extra report from Sue Smithers. What kind of radio station does live traffic reports on Sunday night? This one, for crying out loud. Sue.
1090 Traffic with Sue Smithers.
Thanks, Vince. I'm not sure what's up, but I'm getting reports of some road closures around Joint Base Lewis McChord. I-5 is blocked in both directions right around the main gate. It's Sunday, so that shouldn't have too much of an impact, but I'd look for an alternate route like Highway 99. Now, I'm Sue Smithers with 1090 The Fan, brought to you by Cascade Men's Clinic, helping guys everywhere climb higher and higher.
Thank you, Sue. It's a good idea to stay away from I-5 around JBLM tonight. I wonder what that's all about.
This is the 2-minute warning on Seattle Sports Sunday Night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
Did I mention this is 1090 The Fan? Well, it is. And it's time for the 2-minute warning, which means it's time to take your calls at 206-436-1090 or 888-985-1090. That's toll free. My guest tonight is Alan the Beef Anderson, and we will talk to you out there listening right after this.
Connect with Vince O'Neill online at 1090thefan.com and follow Vince on Twitter and like him on Facebook.
Vince O'Neill here with a commercial word for Cascade Men's Clinic. Do you feel different than you did when you were younger? Do you feel less, what would be the word, manly?
Yeah, like when I lose hair in places, I want to keep it and
that's
grow hair.
That's a different time. That's about something else, Beef, okay? Now, I'll get back to you in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, great. Now, again, Cascade Men's Clinic asks, do you feel like you're not quite the hombre you used to be? It happens to the best of us, as I can tell you from personal experience. Where was I? Cascade Men's Clinic understands the demanliness and the demanification phenomena and the effect it can have on all aspects of your life, and the doctors and the other medical professionals at Cascade know how to help. With just one visit, they're going to have you feeling more like your old self, more like your old young self again. Yeah. Cascade Men's Clinic, helping guys everywhere climb higher and higher.
This is Seattle Sports Sunday Night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
And we are back with Alan the Beef, or just Beef, Anderson on 1090 The Fan. Phone lines are open, except for one. Mary is on it. Mary on Camino Island, you're on Seattle Sports Sunday Night. Hi.
Hi, Vince.
Hi, Mary. Welcome to the show. You have a question for the Beef?
Beef, I want to ask you about the Huskies.
I'm not really an expert on pets, so just
No, I'm talking about the Washington Huskies, the football team.
Right. I think I played with them, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Those were great years, but it's been such a long time. Now, my question for Beef is, What's it going to take for the Huskies to be a championship team again?
That is a great question, Mary. I want to hear this from somebody who was on great teams when they were great.
Yeah.
Beef.
Yeah. A little story, if I may.
Good.
I was in Monaco and the French Riviera this summer with Mrs. the Beef, and we met a lot of special people there abroad who wanted to help the kids as well.
I'm sorry, Beef. Adam is in my ear again telling me we have some breaking news from Brian Lewis and the 1090 newsroom. Be patient, my friend. Stand by. Mary from Camano Island as well. Here comes Brian.
This is a 1090 News Update with Brian Lewis.
Thank you, Vince. This is Brian Lewis here. And as we heard earlier, traffic report, I-5, down there at the base, McCord, that's closed in both directions. We think we may know the reason. Just a few moments ago, the Associated Press said there are unconfirmed reports that American military bases here in the U.S. have been put under some kind of a lockdown. We'll keep our eyes on this story for you, Vince, and we'll let you know if we hear any updates.
Okay, that sounds like a rough night for our boys in uniform. Speaking of which, uniforms, have you seen the new Wolf Gray Hawks uniforms? Those are pretty cool.
Have you seen them?
Yeah. Have you seen them?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. When you were saying uniform, that made me think of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Brian. Mary, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. Now, Beef, before we interrupted you, you were about to tell us what you think the Huskies need to be a winning team again. I know we are all dying to know. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, Vince, Coach James wasn't my coach, but here's what I learned playing football all those years.
This is going to be good.
I think that the Huskies need to put more points on the scoreboard. No, let me break it down for you. More points than the other team that they are playing. They want to use inside lingo, but the opponent, coach would call it.
The opponent.
More than them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how you win. You get more points than the other guy, the other team. Okay, here, let me put this in perspective for the listeners here.
Yeah.
If the other team, let's say they get 20 points, right?
Hypothetically, they get 20 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the Huskies should try to get like 21 points.
At least.
Yeah, and it could be more.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great point. Could be more than 21, but at least 21 points, and that's the key. And that's what they did last night against Cal.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Beef. Fair enough. Exactly how does this current Husky team, though, go about doing that more consistently?
No question. That's a great question. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's about the offense. The offense has got to score more touchdowns, more field goals. Those are points as well.
So the offense has to do that.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. But you know what? It's not just about the offense. It's about the defense too, and those are the guys who are not on offense. You see them run out there. Those guys, they gotta stop the other team from scoring touchdowns and field goals. The same ones that the offense is trying to score for our team.
Yep.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Good. I think I understand now. Mary on Camano, does that make sense to you?
Well, I think it's about the coach.
About the coach. That's a good point.
Well, you just look at Don James, God rest his soul. What he did with the bowl games, the Rose Bowl, and the national championship, and then that new Heisel ruined it all.
Yeah, let's don't go there.
Well, look, that's a great point, and I do know one thing about Coach James that did make a difference.
And what was that, Beef?
He cared about the kids.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thanks for your call, Mary. Now we go to Craig in Shoreline. Craig, hi. You're on Seattle Sports Sunday night on 1090 The Fan.
Beef, so great to talk to you.
Yeah, hi, Craig. How are you?
I was there the night the L-Dub Kangaroos creamed the Redwood Mustangs.
Oh, you're going way back, my friend.
Was that a big night in your high school career at Lake Washington, Beef?
I don't know.
It was huge, Vince, on a punt return. Beef knocked the Redwood kicker flat and broke the guy's coccyx in 18 places.
He broke his coccyx in 18 places.
I think
that's the tailbone. That's the tailbone, right?
Yeah, I think Beef broke both the guy's coccyxes.
I think a lot of people only have one coccyx, but I haven't met everybody.
Well, I bet
so.
that guy wishes he only had one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about that, Beef?
Yeah, you know, I think you're right. I actually felt kind of bad about it, and afterwards I met with his family, and I dedicated the rest of the playoffs that year to his memory and to his coccyx, and of course then I went on to open the short-lived Alan the Beef Coccyx Foundation. There was some confusion, and I've since abandoned that.
That's right.
foundation.
Now I remember,
Yeah.
You know what an amazing tackle that was. I've never seen anything like it, even in the pros. You could hear the crunch of the bone echo from Kangaroo Stadium all over Rose Hill. Them guys nowadays complaining about their concussions are just a bunch of sissies. Not like you, Beef.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm serious. That was legendary. You were legendary.
Yeah, I guess it was pretty amazing, yeah.
You bet it was. It definitely
You know, he didn't even see me coming. I think his glasses had fallen off. That's when I hit him.
Yeah.
All right, Craig, that's great. Thanks for your call.
You're listening to Seattle Sports Sunday Night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
You want to be part of this great conversation? Call 1090 The Fan now at 206-436-1090 or 888-985-1090. Line 3 is occupied currently by Larry from Stillicum. What's on your mind, Larry?
Hello?
Larry? Dude, I thought we lost him there for a minute. You there, Larry?
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead, Larry.
Oh, hey, Vince.
What's on your mind?
I was calling about the Hawks, but there's something going on down here.
What do you mean, Larry? Something going on? Are you getting your 12th man flag ready for tomorrow night? Is that what's going on?
No, I mean there's something strange going on over at the Army base.
Yeah?
Well, my place is right near one of the JBLM fences. The whole place is all lit up, and there's a lot of strange sounds.
Is that right? Are you doing a little celebrating tonight, Larry, maybe?
I lived here my whole life, and I ain't never seen nothing like this before.
That was horrible grammar, Larry. And I'm sure we're going to hear more from Brian Lewis at the bottom of the hour. I know he's following reports of some kind of lockdown there at JBLM. But on task here now, Larry, what about the Hawks?
The Hawks?
The game. Are you going to watch the game tomorrow night?
I got to work the swing shift, but I'm going to DVR it, and I hope no blabbermouth spoils it for me. Wow, there was a big flash in the woods just now.
Yeah. If you're not going to stay on topic, Larry, I'm going to have to let you go, okay?
Oh my God.
Well, sounds like old Larry might be into the cooking sherry tonight.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about my event now?
Oh, yeah, sure, Beef.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The event you got coming up is a fundraiser for the Alan the Beef Foundation, isn't that right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. It's going to be this Wednesday night.
Hang on a minute, Beef. Doggone it. This is getting kind of annoying, but I guess we have got more details, I'm sorry, on some breaking news that we've been following. Gotta go do that. Brian Lewis, the only news guy in local radio working on a Sunday night, he's here. Brian.
This is a 1090 News Update with Brian Lewis.
Vince, thank you very much. This is Brian Lewis. We've just gotten word the president is going to speak live from the White House sometime this hour. And it's kind of unusual. It's late East Coast time on a Sunday night. It's very unusual, Vince.
Yeah, that's fine, Brian, but we're going to have to coordinate that president address thing with Adam, our producer, because he's got NBA expert Hardwood Harv scheduled to join us in the second half hour, and it's hard to shift the time around on Harv. He's a busy man.
Oh, man, I love Hardwood Harv.
Yeah,
can't wait.
You know, fellas, the president, I'm telling you, the president may be able to shed some light on the elevated terror alert status as well as the unconfirmed reports of lockdowns I told you about at American military bases.
Yeah. You know, the president, by the way, is a big basketball guy. He's a pretty good shooter. And his brother-in-law, I know this, coaches at Oregon. Carl something Armstrong, I think it is.
No, Vince. It's Craig Robinson. He coaches at Oregon State.
Really? I thought for sure it was Oregon.
Well, Oregon State University is in Oregon, so you're right about that part. Took a lot of hits there. But Dana Altman is the coach at Oregon, the university. So,
Yeah. Well, sir, you're entitled to your opinion, Beef, but I make my living talking sports, okay? I think I know a little more about it than you do, mi amigo, all right? Is there anything else, Brian?
Is there anything else? Well, not at the moment, no, Vince, but I'll be back when I have more information, and we'll try to bring you the president's remarks live. I'm Brian Lewis, for 1090 The Fan News.
It's halftime on Seattle Sports Sunday night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
I'm Vince O'Neill, and this is Seattle Sports Sunday night on AM 1090 The Fan. In case I didn't mention it earlier, and nobody else did. We'll be right back with more of your calls and more from The Beef Anderson, and we'll check in with our NBA insider, Hardwood Harv. So stay with us.
Connect with Vince O'Neill online at 1090thefan.com and follow Vince on Twitter and like him on Facebook.
Vince O'Neill here with a commercial word for the gutter dictator. It's fall, the leaves are coming down, and at the O'Neill home, I say, you know what? Let them fall, because the gutter dictator is in charge, and no leaf is safe from persecution. You see, here's how it works. Gutter dictator uses a patented, completely safe, solar-powered, low-voltage electrical charge to vaporize leaves before they can even think about getting into your gutters. The rain comes down, the wind blows, but you just sit there watching the game knowing that the gutter dictator is out there saying, die, leaves, die. Get the gutter dictator now.
This is Seattle Sports Sunday night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
Yeah, welcome back to Seattle Sports Sunday night. I'm Vince O'Neill, and I've got the Beef Anderson here with me in the studio, who's going to be with us until the top of the hour, right, Beef?
Yeah, that's right. Although I realize it's getting kind of late for the kids, and that's who I'm here for, the kids, of course.
I know you are, yeah. We'll get to you again in a minute on that. Of course, that music can mean only one thing to local basketball fans. It is time, as we do every week, to check in with our NBA insider, Hardwood Harv, who we talk to every week at this time from his home in Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Hi there, Harv. Thanks for coming on the show again.
Hi, Vince. Look, I don't know if I can add much to the conversation tonight.
You're being kind of modest, aren't you there, Harv?
Well, there's been some kind of accident or plane crash or something right down the road for me. And the state police just knocked on the door and they told me I have to clear out.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Do you have maybe a few moments to tell us who you think is going to win the NBA championship this year?
The NBA championship?
Yeah, I know it's early in the season and all of that, but you study this stuff. Who looks good to you?
Oh, yeah, okay, sure. Well, it pains me to say it to you Seattle guys, but I think you got to look at the Oklahoma Thunder.
Oh, that hurts.
Kevin Durant's got what it takes to...
Thunder. All you hear is thunder.
Harv, you there?
Thunder.
Did we lose him? I think we lost Hardwood Harv. Dang it. Shoot. Adam, producer, guy, would you try and get Harv on the line again? He was just getting good.
Yeah, Vince. And Brian wants to do another update.
Jeez. When did this become the Brian Lewis show? All right, be nice to get back to doing some sports tonight sometime, but apparently Brian Lewis has got another report, so go for it.
This is a 1090 News Update with Brian Lewis.
This is Brian Lewis. I mentioned earlier we're waiting to hear from the president with an unusual Sunday night address from the White House.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Another developing story is that a meteor or large piece, I don't know, space junk has re-entered the atmosphere over the northeastern U.S. And I'll tell you, Vince, reports are that around 7 o'clock Pacific time, and that's 10 on the East Coast.
What time would that be?
Well, the
Central
3-hour
time?
difference. It's about a 3-hour difference there. It's 7,
okay.
About 7 here, about 10 there,
gotcha.
Thousands of people throughout the northeastern United States. They saw flashes of light in the sky. It was bright. It lit up the sky. They heard explosions. And noted meteor expert Professor Pearson of the Princeton Observatory told the Associated Press that this event could be similar to you remember the Vince meteorite that crashed in Russia last year? And they said
Not really.
big chunks of that thing landed when they were like the one in Russia. They landed not far from New York City in a suburban area of New Jersey, and fire and aid, they're on site. There's reports of structure fires, an unknown number of injuries, Vince. And I'm Brian Lewis for 1090 The Fan News.
Okay, groovy. Thanks, Brian. Producer Adam, have you had any luck getting Harv back on the line?
Still trying, boss.
Okay.
Oh, in the meantime, you want to talk with Grandma Gracie? She's all riled up about something.
Grandma Gracie, she's like that, isn't she? Okay, well, that's great. Grandma Gracie's on the line. Sure, we always like talking to her. Put her on. Grandma Gracie from Gorst, is this you?
Vince, did you see that big flash? It lit up the whole sky.
No, I didn't see the flash. Tell us about it, honey.
Oh, it was about 2 minutes ago, right when Brian was talking about that meteor back east. I was looking out my front window, and whoosh! It was just like a giant fireball shot across the sky.
Gracie, let me ask you a question. Did you see the Husky game last night?
Yes. But what's that fireball I just saw?
Vince, can I break in here with an extra traffic report? We have a big problem.
Sure, go ahead, break in, why not?
Can we talk about my event at some point?
I know.
'Cause it's for the kids.
I know. Hang on, Beast.
And,
He's got some things he's got to do here. Go ahead.
1090 Traffic with Sue Smithers.
There's been some kind of incident on I-5 right at the Duwamish River curve. Now, I've lost my traffic cameras, but before they went out, I saw a lot of flames and several vehicles rolled over, blocking all lanes southbound. DOT and State Patrol are responding, but this is a bad one. I would avoid I-5 at the Duwamish River curve in both directions. I'm Sue Smithers with 1090 The Fan. Traffic brought to you by Cascades Men's Clinic, helping guys everywhere climb higher and higher.
You're listening to Seattle Sports Sunday Night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
Okay, Grandma Gracie from Gorst, stay with us. I want to hear what you think about the Huskies or anything having to do with sports. Anything having to do with sports would be so refreshing. What's up, Adam?
Harvard Harv just called on his cell. He's at the scene of some meteor crash, and it's in his neighborhood. He's on line 7.
All right, we'll talk to him then. Harv, can you hear me?
Hi, Vince. I can hear you. I've never seen anything like this.
Before we got cut off, you were saying something about Kevin Durant. What was that?
The whole countryside has been scorched by this meteor or whatever it was that crashed here. Trees, grass, fences, a big barn, and they're all scorched black or gone.
You know, you don't sound so good, Harv, right now.
I didn't see it happen, but I sure heard the big boom and felt the house shake.
Okay, well, why don't we let you go, Harv, if you don't really have anything to talk about regarding the NBA. We'll get in touch with you next Sunday. What do you say?
Oh, my God, there's something crawling out of the wreckage. It's huge. It's alive. It's rising up. It's some kind of creature.
Harv, what are you talking about? I'm not following you here.
Vince, you got to tell everybody. This is some kind of attack.
Boy, he makes those sudden exits, doesn't he? I think we lost him again. Okay, Adam, let's see here. Let's do this.
Connect with Vince O'Neill online at 1090thefan.com and follow Vince on Twitter and like him on Facebook.
Okay, we're back on Seattle Sports Sunday Night on 1090 The Fan. I'm Vince O'Neill. My guest is Alan the Beef Anderson. And before things get too crazy, I want to make sure the Beef does finally get a chance to tell us about this event that you have coming up.
Well, thank you, Vince, for helping me help the kids.
Help the kids, yeah.
And what's coming up Wednesday.
Fellas, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Brian Lewis with the news. Beef, Vince, it looks like we're about ready to hear from the president here.
No, this is not fair.
Come on. You know what? I'm with Beef on this one. You people with your news, your traffic updates are ruining this show.
Yeah.
And now the president wants to butt in too. It's a good thing this is his last term because I think a lot of sports fans are not very pleased with this guy right now.
Okay, now we're going live right now. We're going live now to the White House.
Once again, we are awaiting word from the White House. President Barack Obama will be addressing the country now.
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world. The American people did not choose this fight. It came to our shores and started with the senseless slaughter of our citizens.
Did we lose the feed from the White House?
Vince, are apparently experiencing some technical difficulties there with our audio feed of the President's remarks. In his remarks, the President was expected to shed light on the elevated Homeland Security alert status, Vince, as well as the lockdown of military bases, and that's across the whole nation.
Hey, Adam, has Harv called back?
Nope.
Okay.
Vince, while we were waiting for the President, I was monitoring Twitter and the Associated Press. I'm not sure what to make of all of this, but there are some very unusual reports coming in from all over the country. The bright lights in the sky, the explosions, military vehicles clogging the highways, and oh boy, Vince, I see now, I see now that Game 4 of the World Series in St. Louis has been postponed.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Was it a rain out?
It says right here, and I am on with Twitter, toxic cloud.
Toxic cloud. That's
toxic cloud.
Geez, that sounds kind of bad.
Toxic.
I wonder if they'll get it cleaned up in time for the Seahawks game.
Adam, any luck getting the White House feed there?
I think it's gone.
The feed is gone?
No, not the feed. The White House.
What?
Now, these are unconfirmed reports, and I don't want to alarm anybody, but it appears as if some kind of coordinated attack may be underway.
That sounds bad.
Oh, that is really bad. I mean, I might have to cancel my event, you think?
Fellas, I'm getting a number of strange reports from the AP. Let me see if I can sort these and give you a sense of what appears to be happening.
Okay, Brian, this could mean some bad things.
Well,
I mean, some bad things.
I'm afraid so, Vince.
Yeah, this could even mean, I hate to say it, the Seahawks don't go to 7-1 tomorrow. I mean, that could happen.
Oh, man, that's terrible. I mean, I'm thinking about the kids right now.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are. I am too.
Right.
Fellas, in case you're just joining us and you listening, it appears as if the United States may be under attack from some unknown force. Okay. Thank you, Adam. Let me read this very carefully. This just handed to me by Adams. Civil defense authorities for King, Pierce, Snohomish, and Kitsap counties have just issued the following alert. I'm going to quote this exactly, what it says here. An incident of unknown proportions is unfolding in the metro Puget Sound area. Take cover immediately. Shelter in place. Shelter in place. Do not venture onto the streets until further notice. This is Brian Lewis. Keep tuned to this station and keep your radio on for further updates.
Brian, let me jump in here with a 1090 The Fan traffic report.
1090 Traffic with Sue Smithers.
Echoing what Brian was saying, the State Patrol has issued a do not drive order for all state and county arterials and secondary roadways for the entire state of Washington. I repeat, the State Patrol has issued a do not drive order for all state and county arterials and secondary roadways in the entire state of Washington. And I'm getting reports of several blocking problems on I-5, 405, I-90, 520, State Route 99, 509, and 599. Oh, this is new. The state ferries are shut down and are not expected to sail again this evening. I'm Sue Smithers with 1090 The Fan. Traffic brought to you by Cascade Men's Clinic, helping guys everywhere climb higher and higher.
Connect with Vince O'Neill online at 1090thefan.com and follow Vince on Twitter and like him on Facebook.
Okay, thank you, Sue. I'm sure we'll be coming back to you shortly for another traffic update. Okay, let's see, where are we? Oh, yeah. Commercial word here for Welcome Back, the Northwest's premier cosmetic chiropractic clinic. At Welcome Back, they'll make sure your spine looks good. The doctors and aesthetic osteo specialists there will work with each and every one of your specific vertebrae to create what they call a spinal beautification plan.
Hey, Vince, how about we just forget about the spots right now?
Oh, forget about the spots. Yeah, it's easy for you to say. I happen to get a talent fee for reading these commercials, so I'm just supposed to eat the $15? Is that what I'm supposed to do? You try telling my ex-wife that, pal.
Just saying.
All right, Brian, I guess you got some updated information?
I have updated information, and thank you very much for asking, Vince. Yes.
Sure.
Can I talk about my event now? Or
hang on, Beef.
Let's hear from Brian. Can I get that in? For the kids.
I have updated information. Vince, in case you're joining us, here's what we know.
No, I've been here the whole time. I'm not just joining you.
Specifically the audience, and thank you for that clarification, Vince. I can always count on you. In case you're just joining us, here's what we know about the incident unfolding this evening. Vince, there were reports of sightings of odd lights in the sky around 7 p.m. Pacific time tonight. These reports came from all over the United States, and then the reports of objects, of meteorites, perhaps space junk, crashing to Earth in several locations all across the country. In fact, the latest we have from Seattle Fire, there has been what they're calling a large impact of none unknown origin. I'm reading here in the Magnolia neighborhood, and I'm going to head over there right now, Vince, and I will have a live report for you from the scene shortly.
Okay, Brian, thank you for the update. Drive carefully. And now, Beef, if you can be quick about it, let's hear about your event that may or may not be happening on Wednesday.
Yeah, thanks, Vince. The first annual The Beef Dinner for the kids is this Wednesday at the Ramada by the airport.
That's a beautiful venue.
And it's all about helping the kids.
Yeah. And now how do we get tickets?
Well, we've made that real easy. You just go to my website.
Okay.
AlanTheBeefAnderson.com.
Okay, got it.
Don't go to .net. Some jerk took that one.
We got it.
That's
great.
That's
fine.
ALANTHEB.
I think most people know how to spell beef, okay?
E-F, and then just my last name, Anderson.
Yeah.
A-N-D.
Okay, beef later, okay? Let's check in with Sue, I guess, for a traffic report.
You can go to Google,
1090 traffic with Sue Smithers.
Oh, it's not looking very good out there right now. And remember, in case you did not hear it earlier, a shelter-in-place order remains in effect for King, Pierce, Snohomish, and Kitsap counties. And State Patrol has issued a statewide do not drive order. I-5 remains closed at Joint Base Lewis McChord in both directions. All the southbound lanes are blocked at the Duwamish River curve due to an earlier problem there, a rollover accident, multiple vehicle fires that continue to burn there. And in spite of that do not drive order, I am seeing heavier volumes than usual on all our roadways right now. Now, come on, people, it is time to stay off the roads. And one more thing, there are also reports of the fog rolling in, but it's not the fog that we've been seeing lately. This fog it's very thick and it's very dense. It's almost a black fog. I've seen it on a few of my traffic cameras, and it is thick stuff. This 1090 The Fan traffic report is brought to you by Gutter Dictator. I'm Sue Smithers for 1090 The Fan.
Connect with Vince O'Neill online at 1090thefan.com and follow Vince on Twitter and like him on Facebook.
Thank you for that, Sue. Let's see, why don't we do this?
This is the play of the week on Seattle Sports Sunday night with Vince O'Neill on 1090 The Fan.
This is where we usually play a clip of the play of the week, but frankly, I ran out of time to pull the clip. And we're still fighting the lawsuit about the Seahawks sound clips we've been stealing from Cairo Radio. So let's do this oldie but goodie. Here it is.
Pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and lined down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh, my.
Again, that was 18 years ago. Sure missed the sound of Dave's voice and the sound of a competitive baseball team.
Amen to that, brother.
Is he there already, Adam? Okay, well, that was quick. Let's go to Brian Lewis reporting live now from Magnolia. Brian?
Vince, I'm on the edge of, I hope you can hear me on this phone. Vince, I'm on the edge of the meadow here at Discovery Park in the north part of Magnolia. Seattle police have they've cordoned off an area. It appears something has crash landed. I don't know, a meteor, Vince, perhaps a piece of space junk. It's crash landed as I walk to the crest of this small hill here now. I've got a better view, Vince. This must have struck with just terrific force the ground. It's covered with splinters. It looks like a tree must have exploded on its way down. What I can see, the object itself, it doesn't look much like a meteor, at least not what I'm familiar with. It looks like some kind of an aircraft. It looks to be about, I'm going to say about 50 yards in length.
50 yards, so that would be about, what, half of a football field?
Vince, 50 yards, yes. That would be half a football field. Mm-hmm. The metal surface of the crash, and I've never seen anything like it. And the color, it's yellowish. It's yellowish white. It's curious. It's people are trying to get close to it to get a look at it. The police are trying to keep them back there, and they're blocking. Excuse me, I'm Brian Lewis. I'm trying to do a live report here.
We're gonna need everyone to stay 3 steps back.
While the police are in the crowd control mode. I want to talk with Magnolia resident Don Larson. Now, Don, you were walking your dog in the park, and who's been standing by here with me patiently other than Don Lewis, a resident of the area? You might have some interesting facts to add, Mr. Larson. Can you tell everybody, what did you see? Here's the phone. Well, you're going to have to get closer and a lot louder than that, Don.
I was walking Leroy and with my lab.
Yes, well, and Don, you need to tell us what happened.
Well, Leroy had just finished doing his business.
Well, Don, I want to. What did you see?
Well, I didn't see anything at first. First, I heard something.
And if you would tell us what you heard, Don.
Well, it was a roaring sound like this. Kind of like a real loud motorcycle.
And, okay, and then what?
Well, I'm cleaning up after Leroy. I got the plastic bag in my hand. And then I heard that sound and twisted my head up to the north there, and I saw this big thing coming out of the sky.
And tell us more, Don.
Well, there was a big boom and a crash. It sounded like a train wreck and a plane crash.
And you were, I'm presuming, frightened, Don?
Well, I ain't quite sure. Leroy sure was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's. I don't have any more questions for you right now, Don.
You want me to tell you some more?
No, I'm good, Don. Thank you very much. That's quite all right. And I'm Brian Lewis reporting for 1090 The Fan. Back to you, Vince. Vince, are you there, Vince?
Yeah, I'm here. What's the atmosphere like there right now, Brian? It sounds like a tailgate party going on.
Vince, Seattle Fire has just set up some giant floodlights, and there's people out here tonight, Vince, trying to get a look for themselves, and there are people, they're getting near the yellow police tape, and they're taking pictures with smartphones. You can see the flashes reflecting off of the wreckage, and it's mayhem, Vince. Are you there?
I have seen that yellow tape before. That is the same yellow color, if I'm not mistaken, that the referees use when they throw a flag in a football game. Isn't that right? That color? By the way, if you're listening tonight and you do have any photos, please go to the 1090 The Fan website and send them to us so we can post them on the Seattle Sports Sunday Night Facebook page. You still there, Brian?
I am here. I can, this phone connection phone service on Magnolia, cell phone service is horrible. I'm here, Vince, and there's something I haven't mentioned in all the excitement, but now it's becoming more extinct. Did I say more extinct? We may all be extinct, but this is becoming more apparent to me. Perhaps you've caught this already on your radio, Vince. Do you hear that, Vince? Can you hear that?
I can hear some people, but I don't hear anything else.
Can you hear Adam, Sue? Do you hear it?
No.
Do you hear? It's a buzzing sound, and it's coming from the object. I'll see if I can get closer.
Okay, I can't.
I don't know.
I can't really hear it, Brian.
Well, it's buzzing.
Well, hang on the buzzing thing, because I'm going to take a minute here for a traffic report.
1090 traffic with Sue Smithers.
It's a short one, Vince. Stay off the roads. All driving is suspended by order of the State Patrol. Shelter in place. I'm Sue Smithers for 1090 The Fan.
Okay, Sue, thank you. What is that, Adam, now? Right back to Brian Lewis. Okay, he's reporting live from Magnolia. Brian, back to you.
Yes. Brian Lewis here on the phone. Something is happening, Vince. This is crazy. The aircraft, you won't believe this, is opening up. It's opening up. There's some kind of a hatch on the side of it. I have not seen that before. It's a hatch. It's opening up. Oh. My God. Oh boy.
Brian, are you still there? Brian?
Vince, can you hear me? This is the most terrifying thing I've seen in 30 years in this business. Wait a minute. Vince, something is crawling out of the hatch. Someone or something. Oh, good heavens. There's something wriggling out of the shadows like a giant slug. I don't know if I can do the report. It's big. It's huge. It glistens. It's glistening. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But Vince, I will tell you, for the first time, I'm at a loss. It's indescribable. I can't even describe this, Vince. I wish you were here, Vince. You could do it. I can't do it.
No, you're doing great. You're just doing great.
Yeah.
Okay. That is Brian Lewis with the play-by-play live from Discovery Park.
Vince?
Yes.
Vince? Can you hear me, Vince?
Yeah, we hear you, Brian.
Vince?
Vince,
go
ahead.
You hear me?
Yes.
Vince,
yeah, I hear you.
I promise I will give you every detail as long as I can talk, as long as I can see. Oh, God, the police are here. Now 2 officers, they're in riot gear. They're advancing. They have something in their hands. I can see it. This is Vince. It's a white handkerchief tied to a pole. That's the flag of truce.
Yes.
That's Vince. That is the flag of truce. Wait. Something is happening. Do you hear that? Shape. Vince, I hope you can hear me. A shape is rising out of the pit. There's a jet of flame pointed right at the officers, and my God, it's a direct hit. Oh, good my God. Fire, Vince, everything's on fire. They're coming after us, Vince. Oh, God.
Brian? Are you there? Brian? Adam, would you try calling Brian back? Sue, do you have anything?
No, hold on. I just picked up on the scanner that Seattle Fire is calling for all possible reinforcements from Linwood and Everett. They said major loss of equipment and personnel is what they're saying about the incident at Discovery Park.
Hey, Vince. Vince, you better read this. I just printed it out for you.
All right. What does this say? Okay, it's an official communique from the Vice President. The Vice President. Here's what it says. My fellow Americans, incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our eyes lead to the inescapable assumption that those strange beings who landed all over the United States tonight are the vanguard of an invading army from the planet Mars. The battles which are taking place are likely to culminate in the most startling defeats ever suffered by any army. Tens of thousands of soldiers, sailors, and airmen with our most powerful weapons at their disposal were no match for a few dozen fighting machines of the invaders from Mars. The enemy is now in control of much of the country. Communication lines are down. Transportation systems are crippled. Highways are clogged with frantic human traffic. Police and Army reserves are unable to control the mad flight. At this time, martial law prevails throughout most of the United States. In spite of these events, I urge you to remain calm and do what you can to take care of yourself and your children and to help your neighbors. We have faced enemies in the past who sought to destroy us, and the United States shall not be vanquished by these invaders. May God bless and keep the United States of America. Signed, Vice President Joseph R. Biden.
Oh, my God, did you hear what he said? You know, the part about taking care of your kids, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The bulletins are too numerous to read. They're piling up in the studio here. We are informed that Thurston and Pierce counties are blacked out from radio communication due to the effect of the heat ray upon power lines and electrical equipment. And now here comes a special bulletin from Homeland Security, and I'm quoting here, majority voice opinion that enemy will be reinforced by additional craft. Scouting planes report 3 Martian machines visible above treetops moving north towards Federal Way with population fleeing ahead of them. They seem to be making conscious effort to avoid destruction of cities and countryside. However, they stop to uproot power lines, bridges, and railroad tracks. Their apparent objective is to crush resistance, paralyze communication, and disorganize human society. Now here's a bulletin from JBLM. Army field pieces are proceeding from JBLM to launch a counterattack. The alien craft are taking up position in the foothills of the Cascades. Another bulletin from the Whidbey Island Naval Air Station. Scouting planes report enemy craft, now 3 in number, increasing speed south along the shore of Puget Sound. Squadron of Navy bombers carrying heavy explosives flying in pursuit. Just a moment, please. What's up, Adam?
Yeah, I got it set up. Come on, let's go.
Okay. Producer Adam has set up a cable to the roof. I'm going to go up there now, take a look, tell you what I see. Sue, can you cover me here with a traffic report while I run upstairs?
Well, sure. It's a short one.
Then speak slow, okay? And Beef, I'll see you later. It doesn't look good for your event on Wednesday, but sorry.
If I don't have a chance to speak with you again, I would encourage you and your listeners to follow me on Twitter at @TheRealBeefAnderson.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for having me on the show.
The roads are jammed all over as people ignore the shelter-in-place order and the ban on driving. Ferries remain tied up at the docks, and the border crossings are jammed too. You're much better off on foot or on a bike at this point, in my humble opinion. I'm Sue Smithers for 1090 The Fan Traffic. Are you up there yet, Vince? Vince, Adam?
Yeah, is this working?
Yes.
Am I on?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Adam. Good job. All right. I'm speaking from the roof of our building along Westlake and Dexter. The sirens you hear, or you're going to hear, are to warn the people to evacuate the city as the invaders approach. Producer Adam is keeping track of the latest developments. He's showing me updates on the screen of his laptop. It is estimated in the last 2 hours that 1 million people have moved out along the roads to the north on I-5 and 405. Bridges to Bellevue and Kirkland are hopelessly jammed, like any typical day. There are no tolls on I-90, of course. For now, anyway. All communication with Olympia is cut off as if there were going to be any help down there anyway. No more defenses. Our Army is wiped out. Artillery, Air Force, everything. Wiped out! I realize now this may be the last episode of Seattle Sports Sunday Night. But we're going to stay here, damn it, to the end or until 8 p.m. for the Scott for All Show. I want to thank you and my guest, Beef Anderson, for all the great calls tonight. I look now down over South Lake Union. All manner of boats overloaded with fleeing people heading for safety in Wallingford or who knows where they're going. The streets are all jammed. The crowds and the noise remind me of a New Year's Eve around the base of the Space Needle. But this ain't no celebration, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute. The enemy is now in sight above me on the Queen Anne Hill. They're knocking down the TV towers. No more King 5 tower cams. No more the 206. Jeff Renner is going to be pissed. Five great machines. They look like those Port of Seattle container cranes, only more murders and more evil. The first one now is just south of where I'm standing, crossing Lake Union. I can see it from here, waiting like a man crossing a brook. Producer Adam hands me his laptop, and it says here, let's see, can you adjust the angle for me, Adam? It says that Martian craft are landing all over the country. One outside Milwaukee. I never forgave Milwaukee for stealing the pilots. One in Oklahoma City. You know what? Good riddance! St. Louis. There goes Monday Night Football for sure. The first of the creatures stands watching, looking out over the city. His steel, cowlish head is even with the skyscrapers. The creatures all rise like a line of mixed-use condos with ground floor retail over the smoking ruin that once was South Lake Union. And now they're lifting their metal hands. This is the end now. Smoke comes out, black smoke, drifting over the city. People in the streets, they see it now. They're running toward Elliott Bay. Thousands of them, dropping in like demonic squirrels. Now the smoke's spreading faster. It's reaching downtown. People are trying to run away from it, but it's no use. Now the smoke's coming this way, crossing Mercer Street, which of course is jammed with cars 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ever since they made it a two-way street. The bike lanes are wide open, however, and Carol, honey, my wife, if you're listening, I'm sorry for everything, but you're probably not listening because you hate sports. You never did listen, and you didn't like me either. So, this is Vince O'Neill along with producer Adam, and this was Seattle Sports Sunday night on 1090 The Fan. And if you're hearing this live, please take shelter. And if you make it that long, why don't you tune in next Sunday night? If you're hearing this on our podcast, I guess that means we survived, right? Right? Hello? Are there any callers out there? Anybody? If anyone can hear me, go Hawks! This is Pat Cashman, ladies and gentlemen, out of my incredibly convincing character to assure you that the preceding program was no further significance than the holiday offering was intended to be. Now, Seattle Radio Theater's own version of dressing up in a sheet and jumping out of a bush and saying, boo! Scared myself on that one. Starting now, we could not soap all of your windows. We couldn't steal all your garden gates by tomorrow night. We couldn't light a bag of whatever, is inside of the on your porch and then knock on the door and have you come and stomp on it. We couldn't do that. So we did the next best thing. We annihilated the world before your very ears and utterly destroyed 1090 The Fan. You will be relieved, I hope, to learn that we did not mean it, that both institutions are still open for business. So goodbye, everybody, and remember the terrible lesson you learned tonight, that grinning, glowing, globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch. And if your doorbell rings and nobody's there, that was no Martian. It's almost Halloween.
Go, go, you pilots, you proud Seattle team. Go, go, you pilots, go out and build a dream. You brought the majors to the evergreen Northwest.
You've been listening to a special live radio drama broadcast of Sports Talk Panic, presented by Seattle Radio Theater, Town Hall, Seattle, and 1090. It is The Fan in honor of the tonight's show, in honor of the 75th anniversary of the infamous War of the Worlds. It was broadcast in 1938. And we have this late bulletin of good news for you, Vince. We do have something in a bag that you can light on fire and put on the porch. Thank you to Don Larson on Magnolia, walking his black lab, saved it in a bag.
That's very nice.
Our cast tonight included Pat Cashman, Chris Cashman, Lee Callahan, Tracy Conway, Rob Jones, Curtis Takahashi, Chris Topping, and Felix Bonnell. Sound was by Jeff Larson for Town Hall Seattle. Live remote broadcast engineering was by Jay Bell for 1090 The Fan. For information about upcoming shows, won't you please visit Seattle Radio Theater's Facebook page, and join us at Town Hall Seattle on Friday, December 13th for It's a Wonderful Life. Why, I'm your announcer, John Maynard, speaking, and this is, as they call it, KFNQ. KFNQ AM 1090 Seattle, The Fan.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. I hope you're not so thoroughly chilled and frightened that you can't make it home tonight.
Over the next 2 hours, we'd like to open it up for questions. You might have, raise your hand.
Any questions?
Microphone around.
You may have.
Great audience.
Any answers? Opinions are welcome as well. Anybody? Richard, do you have a question? Yes.
Yeah, why'd you do that, Cashman?
Can you put that in the form of a question, Richard? You like to hear the Husky fight song? You might see, if you go to Husky games over the years, you might have seen Richard outside of the stadium playing trumpet over the years out there. And he has a box where you can throw money in there if you like what you hear.
No Canadian
coins. But no Canadian coins is the admonition. And why is that? It's outdated. So you're into your final performances. All right. That's ending the night on a wistful moment.
Well, I see, as usual, Felix Bonnell production tonight is once again turned into the Richard Peterson Show.
And Felix, I don't want to do your job for you, but we should have mentioned, if you want to purchase a copy of the show you heard tonight, we'd be pretty surprised. But
very much so.
I mean, let us know. We could work something out, probably.
We didn't actually record it because we didn't figure anybody would want one. But
thanks for coming out tonight. We appreciate you guys coming, watching this, and helping keep this strange, esoteric art form alive. We think it's worth doing, and we'll keep doing it until people tell us to stop. So we're going to plug our ears, though. So anyway, have a good night. Have a happy Halloween, and please come back on December 13th for It's a Wonderful Life. Good night. Thank you.
And it is Red Sox in the top of the eighth. It's Red Sox 4, Cardinals 2. So.